What's up guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to look at the Destruction Derby series of games on the PlayStation 1. Destruction Derby 1, Destruction Derby 2, and Destruction Derby Raw. I'm going to do a quick overview at the beginning of each game, and then leave you guys to enjoy the rest of the footage. Let's get started. Destruction Derby released around the world in late 1995 and early 96 in Japan, so it was quite an early PlayStation 1 game. However, it still plays great in my opinion. The gameplay is very satisfying. The graphics hold up very well for such an old game. The races and other modes are intense thanks to the AI opponents being aggressive, and there being a lot of cars on track with you. One of the reasons why Destruction Derby plays so well has to do with how satisfying the collisions are. The sounds when you hit other cars have a lot to do with it. You can hear satisfying screeching and broken glass each time you smash into an opponent. The car physics in Destruction Derby 1 do not allow the cars to lift off the ground, which was addressed in Destruction Derby 2. But in my opinion, that actually makes the collisions with other cars feel that much more impactful, as the cars feel weighty because of it. There's also a very enthusiastic announcer that comments on what's happening to you on the course. It is easy for this kind of commentary to get annoying in-game, but it works well here, even though it's quite repetitive. Enjoy the rest of the footage guys. After the race finishes, we'll move on to Destruction Derby 2.
Go! Second place, second place. Nice, second place. Nice, ooh! Wow! Second place. Third place. Wow! Second place. What is that? Nice. Ooh. Watch those barriers. They'll only slow you down. Yeah! Wow! Second place. It's the final lap.
Destruction Derby 2 brought over many things from Destruction Derby 1, but it changed things up a bit in terms of the car handling and physics compared to the first game. The cars can lift off the ground now, and the tracks have hills and humps to take advantage of it, unlike the flat ones in Destruction Derby 1. The problem is that whereas in Destruction Derby 1 the cars were glued to the road, here it's all too easy for the cars to lose traction with the surface, which in turn makes them feel very light and makes the crashes less impactful and satisfying. On the plus side, the cars feel a lot faster than in Destruction Derby 1, so the races are more dynamic, and the opponents are aggressive just like in the first game, which leads to intense encounters. Both Destruction Derby 1 and 2 are very good games, and play great even today. I think it is partly thanks to the overall handling and collision detection of the cars in both games. They don't feel as dated as in some other racing games from that era. The game modes are interesting, and the car handling and crashes are satisfying, all of which makes for a fun gaming experience. Coming up next, Destruction Derby Raw. Stay tuned, guys.
Wow! Total destruction! Wow, what a final!
Destruction Derby Raw was the last Destruction Derby game released for the PlayStation 1. It came out in mid-2000, so in contrast to the first game, relatively late in PlayStation 1's lifetime. It was developed by a different studio than the first two games. Destruction Derby 1 and 2 were developed by Reflections Interactive, whereas Destruction Derby Raw was developed by Studio 33. Because of that, the game feels different than its predecessors. Unfortunately, not in a good way in my opinion. However, let's start from the positives. Destruction Derby Raw has really decent graphics for a PlayStation 1 game, and it's still relatively fun to drive the cars. But even though the graphics are improved, the frame rate suffers because of it, quite noticeably in certain areas. The car physics at first seem to be more balanced compared to Destruction Derby 1 and 2. One improvement is that cars don't feel as light as in Destruction Derby 2. However, they turn very badly, and even the AI-controlled cars keep hitting walls on tight turns. Also, hitting other cars feels less impactful, and the vehicle damage model is also worse than in previous entries. Another thing is that the AI opponents are very tame during races compared to the last two games. They rarely try to push you off the road or crash into you, or other cars, which makes the races a lot less dynamic and exciting. Destruction Derby Raw is not a terrible game, they're still fun to be had. I just think, apart from a few things, it's mostly a step back compared to the last two games. Enjoy the rest of the footage, guys. This is the end of the video, guys. Please comment below which game in this series is your favorite, or any other thoughts you might have. All the best, and I'll see you in the next one.